Hello friends, this is Jay, and today in this video I am going to give you some basic understanding about VMware Vsphere. So let's start with what is VMware Vsphere. So guys, in my previous video I have explained how IT virtualization works, what are the benefits and what are the difficulties to get it, and in further videos we are going to talk about the brand and products. So today we are taking the brand VMware and the product is Vsphere. So Vsphere is basically a bundle of few VMware software products, few software components which enables you to create and manage virtualization on top of hardware. So using these software products you can develop and build your own virtualized environment in your premises. So VMware is basically a brand which developed virtualization, and it has the highest market share among multiple brands. So other brands are like Microsoft, they have Hyper-V, and Nutanix, they have some software products for virtualization, Parallels, and you have Citrix. There are many more products available. VMware is still having the highest market share for this. So in Vsphere they have multiple software components which can be used for different purposes. If you want to do a server virtualization only, you have some product. If you want to go for server plus network virtualization as well, then they have a different product. You can combine those products. If you are going for server and desktop virtualization infrastructure as well, then they have a combination of different products. So we'll see further in this video. Highlights of VMware Vsphere is you can easily install, deploy and manage everything from a single console. You can develop a high availability environment if you are using a single box, or if you are planning for a multiple box, you can create a high availability. Using this Vsphere, you can utilize your hardware resources properly. It means when you are using a single server, you only use 30 to 40% or 50% resources on an independent server, but when you are moving to virtualization in using Vsphere, you can utilize 100% of that particular independent hardware server. Scalability, so you can start it from a single box, single server, and you can grow up to some 100 boxes from a single console. It depends upon your edition and the license. You can scale out. Easy backups, so you can take snapshot backups, you can use some backup softwares which are mastered in virtualization backup, etc. Base for many hyperconverged servers. So hyperconverged servers are basically a single server box. Inside the box on a software platform, you can have virtual servers, you can have virtual storage, you can have virtual network, you can have virtual backups, everything inside a single server. So the software base at the maximum hyperconverged servers using VMware Vsphere only. So now come on to additions and products and components which are there in the VMware Vsphere suite. So the latest version which is recently released by VMware for Vsphere is 7.0. Earlier active versions still you can download and install. The active versions are 6.7, 6.5, 6.0, 5.5, 5.1 and 5.0. Below 5.0 versions were there earlier, but now discontinued by the VMware. Now let's come on the components. So if I talk about a VMware Vsphere as a suite, these are the products available inside the suite. The first one is VMware Vsphere Hypervisor. So I already explained in my previous video, a hypervisor is an operating system which you install on a server hardware. For VMware, this hypervisor is called ESXi. It's a very famous name. Next one is VMware Vcenter server. Vcenter server is basically a management software which you can install or which you can install as a VM or which you can install as a physical server. This helps you to create and manage multiple host environment. VMware NSX for vSphere. NSX is basically for networking. So as you have your L1, L2, L3 switches in your network rack, same kind of structure you can have on a virtual platform, where you can create your VLANs, or you can do routing if you have hundreds and thousands of virtual machines and you want to route the traffic, you want to control the traffic. You can do all the activities on a virtual environment that you can do on a physical network L2 and L3 switches. Apart from this, you can have some firewall facility as well. You can do port based blocking and kind of thing. Next one is VMware Vsphere Replication. So this is a built-in feature of ESXi Hypervisor. Once you have the proper license, this can be activated, and if you have one node or two node at some place, and if you have another node at the same place or a different place, and all are connected through a LAN or WAN, you can replicate your virtual machine from one server to another server. So in any case, if you required any backup, you can take the files from your replicated virtual machine, or if something goes wrong with your primary virtual machine, you can activate or you can power on the replication machine. It will power on at the state when it was replicated last. So here you get a backup as well as DR facility. So VMware vRealize orchestration application and vRealize operations. So vRealize product is basically to deploy a VMware cloud in your premise. It is to use your in-premise cloud and VMware cloud. You can manage both the things from a single console. You can even automate so many things. You can define a software driven IT operations through this. It's a very huge application. Next one is vSphere integrated containers. So if you are aware about containers and Dockers, in that case VMware vSphere integrated containers facility allows you to develop or run containers inside the ESXi host. Next one is App Defense plugin. So VMware has a product called App Defense. It is a security product. This product is used to monitor and protect your virtual machines from the threats. Let's suppose if if a virtual machine is running, it might be running some application or a database. So VMware App Defense has a default application behavior. Like if some database is running, in this database the queries and the database behavior should be like this if it is running properly. If something is wrong going on with this database, if something is tried to penetrate or trying to inject something in the database and it behaving something different, then the App Defense detect it and alert you. If automation is configured, then definitely App Defense will block that particular activity. If it is not possible, then it can isolate the virtual machine as well. It can shut down the virtual machine and you can manually remediate that thing. So this plugin is also a part of VMware vSphere suite. So guys, these are the products which are there. Now we'll see how many additions are there. Additions means the bundles. So for your purpose, for your different purpose, you can buy the license of different editions. The basic editions is Essentials. Essentials has only two products, VMware vSphere Hypervisor and VMware Vcenter servers. And if you go to the higher editions, the products will get added or as per the requirement. So guys, this platinum edition is available in 6.7 and not available in 6.5 and 7.0. So this need to be taken care, and all the details for your product combinations you can read these on vmware.com, or you can google it. So you will find all the combinations of these editions. So let's move on. So guys, there are so many products. Out of these products there are two major components. One is VMware Vsphere Hypervisor, which is called ESXi. Another is Vcenter server. So these two products are the base of VMware Vsphere. If you want to use any other product, you will need these two products. These are essential products. If you want to do a network virtualization or a cloud deployment or app defense or few more products of VMware which are not part of VMware vSphere, you will need at least these two products. So because when you have a hypervisor, a base OS, on top of that only you can create some virtual network or virtual storage kind of thing. So we are going to talk about these two products only. VMware vSphere Hypervisor. Key points. The very important thing is installation, destination, storage. So when you install an operating system, you need some storage, or you call it hard drive, where you can install it. The best part of ESXi is you can install a ESXi on a 32 GB SD flash cards, or a 32 GB flash drive or pen drive, whatever you call it. So if your server is capable to holding these two pen drive and the SD flash card hardware, you can install ESXi without any hard drive. You want to use your entire hard drive after the RAID for your virtual machine storage, you can utilize it. The next one is VMware Infrastructure Client and HTML Web Client. So once you have installed VMware ESXi, it will not allow you to manage the things on the server console. On VMware infrastructure, on the hypervisor, you can do some basic tasks like configuring your management server, log viewing, and some command line work. You cannot configure your virtual machines, your network, and your storage. For that you will require a client which you can install on a Windows system, and from that you can connect your ESXi host and you can configure other things. So till the version 6.0, VMware was providing infrastructure client which you can install. After 6.5, like from 6.5 and 6.7 and now 7.0, VMware is not providing any client. It is the entire management is based on web browser. It's a HTML web client. So open your browser, you log into the host, and you can configure all the required things which you can do from infrastructure client. Once you log in to the client and you can connect the server, rest the things which you need to configure. First one is vSwitch. So when your VMs will be created, they will definitely connect to some network. So on the VMware host you can create a network switch, and in this network switch you can assign a physical port of your server as a uplink, and rest of the ports will be connected to your virtual machine. So this is how your network will flow. Next thing, you can configure data store. Data store is a partition or a volume, you can say. It is formatted with the VMware file system. In this data store volume you can store your virtual machine. This data store can be created from a local hard drives, it can be created from a NAS share, or it can be created from a SAN storage shared volume. So this is how you can use a data store. Now the network is ready, your data store is ready. Now you can create virtual machine. So when you create a virtual machine, not like a hardware machine. Here you define the number of CPU, number of cores you want to give a virtual machine, how much memory you want to give, like 4 GB, 8 GB, number of hard drives, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many hard drives you want to give that machine, and what is the capacity in GB or TB. So this is how you can define the hardware configuration. Once this is done, you can mount a ISO and boot the virtual machine from the console, and you can install a operating system. Once your operating system is installed, VMware tools comes into picture. VMware tools are the software product. So when you install these tools in your operating system starts communicating with the hypervisor. The performance reporting, like your CPU memory utilization, what is the hard drive, what is the health status of the virtual machine, everything you can see on your hypervisor console in the client. Apart from that, if you don't install a VMware tools, sometime you may face your network card is not present in the virtual machine, and your mouse cursor is lagging. So these problems can be solved through the VMware tools. So these are the major things which we can do from a hypervisor. Next comes to VMware Vcenter server. Few key points. So VMware Vcenter server is a central management application. If you have multiple ESXi hosts, you can manage all the servers from a single console. You can use VMware Vcenter. If you want to create a high availability environment, or if you want to create a virtual machine and the virtual machine hard drive migration from one storage to another storage, from one server to another server, these kind of activities you can do only through VMware Vcenter server. Vcenter server is available as a Linux ready appliance, which you can directly import in your ESXi host. You can run as a virtual machine, or you can have it on a Windows server. The application is available. You install a Windows server either in virtual machine or a physical host. You can install the application and it is ready for use. So these are the main key points of VMware Vcenter. So guys, this is enough for today. So for detailed explanation and live demonstration of ESXi host and Vcenter, keep watching further videos of virtualization series and subscribe this channel. Thank you. So in my next video, I will show you how you can install VMware Hypervisor ESXi server. Thank you.